Hello, and welcome to SOLVed. Thank you for joining us in our XYHT Magazine virtual trade show booth. We greatly appreciate the time you are about to spend with us and for the opportunity to introduce you to the company and our products. I'm Tammy Peterson, Chief Revenue Officer. I became a part of the SOLV team in December 2017 after a decade of managing Voltus imagery services, which would eventually become the Hexagon Content Program when the organization was acquired in 2014. For those who may not have heard of SOLV before, we are a Canadian-based software development company that was conceived several years ago within a local survey and engineering firm. In the fall of 2017, we were spun out of that firm and became a standalone entity, fully entering into the market early in 2018. Our applications focus on geospatial data processing, visualization, and collaboration capabilities that provide a rapid deployment, low learning curve, and ease of use experience, all while still being incredibly powerful. Many say that information is power, but to me, it is the sharing and collaboration with the information that delivers its true power and insight, and that's what our platform provides. And with that as my segue, I'll turn it over to my colleague, Brad Ashley, to take you through our solutions.
Thanks, Tammy. My name's Brad Ashley. I'm the Customer Success Manager here at SOLVed, and we'll be taking you through a demo of the application and its features today. Our SOLVed Encompass application is a web-based tool that requires no installation, allows the user to host their data in any web-enabled server, and can be customized to meet your needs. Encompass provides a mechanism to view and collaborate with data from a number of sensor types, as well as geospatial information models from CAD, GIS, Google, as well as Esri ArcGIS Online. Visualizing and sharing geospatial information is easier than ever. Using simply a modern web browser, our SOLVed Encompass application allows users to visualize, share, and collaborate across a myriad of geospatial information. Once the user logs in, they're presented with an overview map showing the projects they have access to. To open up a project, you can simply click on it here from the map, or if you know the project name, you can select it from the list above. This green line example uses mobile scanning technology to collect both 360-degree imagery as well as LiDAR. In our scene view that we're looking at here, you can see the 360 imagery, and once I go into the settings from either here on the right or here on the left, you can start to modify your view. Starting with point visibility, we can turn that up and start to see it lay over top of the imagery. You can change the distance, the size, even the color mode and map. If your data is classified, you can turn that on and off. This enables you to pinpoint objects in the data as well as see the full data coverage. Finally, here in the settings tab is where you can manage how you navigate through the application. Using our arrows option, simply do a click and move up in the image in the direction you're pointing. While my point cloud's turned up, I'll go into our second view, which is called 3D mode. This turns off the panoramic image and allows you to leave perspective. Here we can zoom out and start to look from different perspectives at the data set. This view allows you to do more precise measurements and have a better understanding of the full data collection. Finally, our third view is aerial. This is a top-down view of the data. In the background here, we have the ArcGIS world map imagery. With your subscription, you also receive access to ArcGIS StreetMap as well as OpenStreetMap. Users can also bring their own aerial tiles into this view. In addition to bringing in the point cloud and imagery into Encompass, there are a number of other layers available. If we go into our Layers Manager, you start to see the mobile scan point cloud that we've been looking at, as well as the base map layers that are present in the aerial view. Next come our web sources, including WMS, WFS, WMTS, and Esri layers. These Esri layers are locked, which means that I'll have to have permissions to turn them on, while this one is public and wouldn't require permission. If I go into my aerial view and turn on my dwellings, you'll see that I have to log in to gain access. That layer will then turn on, all the features will load, and now if I click on it, you can see my attribute table associated with those features. Back in my scene view, there's additional file sources such as DXF, Shape, KML, KMZ, and IFC for 3D models. I can start to load in some feature extraction that's been done in a design package and load it in here, as well as some 3D models of a house that's nearby. All of these can be measured on, as well. If there's any colors or layer names that we don't like, we can change those here as well. Allowing users to make measurements on the data is one of the first steps in the collaboration process. Here in Scene View, measurements are taken using the point cloud in the background. As I start to take a standard measurement, for example, of this road width, the vertices of this are finding the nearest point in the point cloud. The distance presented in 2D and 3D, as well as grade and angle, are in metric, but down at the bottom you can quickly change to imperial. Simply change the name of this measurement to road width, set the measurement title, and now if you decide to export a CSV of these measurements or save them for later, it makes more sense which measurement is which. Our next tool is the single point. If we need to send someone out and have a look at either this utility pole or road sign, we can simply click at the bottom and get that northing easting elevation. Saving this out to a clipboard is easy using the copy to clipboard option. And now I can paste that into an email and send it out to someone. Next is our snap up and snap down function. I'll use the snap down to find out the clearance to the road below. This gives us 24 feet, 11 inches, and shows us that we've got our 90-degree snap. Again, if I change this to metric, we can now see it's 7.6 meters. So we've moved to another project here. In this case, we've got airborne LiDAR that's been collected, as well as we've got 3 centimeter resolution imagery that's been loaded in here as those tiles. You can see the extent of that here. I want to show some of those more advanced measurement types, including volume. We've got a pile of gravel that we want to take a volume of. I'll click around the outside of it. I am defining it. There's little white dots happening as I click around. And then I just have to simply double click to get to close out. The points that will be included inside of the volume are now highlighted in red. And you can see on the left-hand side that we now have an area. If I now calculate the volume, it'll turn white and I'll get those cubic yards. If I move to metric, I can now see what the area and volume are in square and cubed meters. One of the other tools that often is required is the ability to create a cross-section or elevation profile. If we right-click and start and right-click and finish the elevation profile, we'll see that this is what we've got for a cross-section. As we move along these points, we can see the elevation change and tell us where we're at. Again, this can change to feet or survey feet as required and can be saved out as an image or copied. Here we have an example of an indoor terrestrial scan that's taken place. In addition, a user's gone through and created a number of points of interest tags. We can click on these and find out more information. In this case, a doc's been attached, which is a CAD model. As well, it's been linked to a larger asset management solution. We have an API that works with many of these asset management solutions to ensure that both Encompass and your asset management are kept up to date. Back inside of Encompass, to create a new tag, you simply right-click, Create New Tag. Up pops a widget that allows you to put in a name, comments, which can include a URL if you have a website you'd like to link, and then choose which collection folder it resides within. Personal collection folders are only visible by the user, whereas additional folders can have multiple users added and permissions set. Finally, we can choose if we'd like to attach a document. Once we submit, we can see that our asset has been created. Here in the folders, we can choose to change the color, visibility, tag icon, size, etc. And we can export these out as a CSV. If we already have a bunch of assets created, we can also import a CSV. We also have the ability to create an annotation. This provides the user the ability to do a freehand draw with multiple colors, pen types. This can be saved for later or exported out as a JPEG to be included as part of an email. Using our data export tool, users can define an area of interest, like this intersection, give it a name, add the data, and then generate both the points and the images that are within that. Going into the points, we can choose the projection. Automatically, it'll pick the projection as per the project, as well as the last version and density. If you were going to do a DEM, maybe you'd only want ground, but in this case, I'll take both. That'll start to generate. In the meantime, let's generate out the images. Similarly, we can change the projection, as well as change the quality and type of image. In this case, we're going to get a zip file that includes all of the images within this area of interest, as well as a CSV that defines them. Our points are now ready to download, so we'll take that download, and once downloaded, we'll open it in our Solved Engine LAS viewer. Here you can see that we have our dense point cloud, and it's in a small enough clip that we can take it into other applications to do additional modeling. It's important to note that no matter how many clips are taken of this data set, the back-end database remains intact. As well, now we have our download of images. Again, this is going to be a zip file that includes all of the images as well as the CSV that defines them. Here are all those images and the CSV. Now I'll pass it back to Tammy to cover the new enhancements and contact info.
Thanks, Brad. That was a great overview of Encompass. At the time of this recording, we were about a week away from our next feature release, so we wanted to let you know what's coming and encourage you to visit our YouTube page after mid-July to check out the new feature video to see them in action. And of course, should you have any questions or would like to schedule a demonstration, please feel free to contact Brad or myself or any of our authorized resellers who would also be happy to assist you. Thank you again for joining us today, and we hope to be seeing you in person soon. Until then, stay safe and healthy.